If you want to get on depth with news and technology in the wireline industry, you're watching All Shots Fired with Russell Smith.
All right, everyone, I want to welcome you to All Shots Fired. This episode is brought to you by the Pipe Whisperer, serving the Permian Basin for the last 29 years, specializing in pipe recovery services. Now, if you have stuck pipe, call the Pipe Whisperer to get your fishing job started on the right track. The Pipe Whisperer is available through Wireline Company near you. It's also available in all domestic plays and even does over-the-phone consults if you have hit a roadblock or you need a little help. So call John Baez. Number is 325-207-1775, or you can email him at john@pipewhispers.com. You could go on the Pipe Whisperers website and get all the information about John. But if you want experience in the industry, and I'm talking about top-notch experience, a person that's a leader in this industry of pipe recovery, give him a call. You won't regret talking to this guy. So anyway, good guy. Now, on our show today, it's going to be pretty interesting. A couple of things right off the bat. Guys, get out there and vote. I don't know when this is going to air. Hopefully, it'll be before the last day of voting, but vote. If you know anybody that's a veteran that's fought for our country, I don't think there's a better way of saying thank you than getting out and vote, because that's what they fought for us. So get out there and do it. I'm a pro-Trump guy. I think he'd be the best for our country, but the key is to vote, and you decide. Okay. Another thing we did a teardrop hack. I called it a teardrop trick. A guy by the name of Jimmy Vela came out, and he showed us a little trick he did with teardrops. Made a little video of it showing how he puts the first layer of tape on this, and he would spin it backwards so the tape actually doesn't stick to the teardrop, that first layer. He did went around and spun it and got the tape on right, but we caught more slack over him spinning the tape backwards because people have said that the tape will loosen a teardrop. Now, I have grabbed, this is just a teardrop we grabbed here at the school, and I have physically tried to unscrew this with my hand, and I can't get this thing to come off. Now, if you think by putting a piece of tape on here and wrapping it the wrong way will unscrew this, I think you got a bigger problem. If that happens, then your teardrop wouldn't put together correctly. Make sure this thing is tight. If that rod is tight, you're not going to hand screw it. And you're darn sure not going to use the tape to unscrew it. Okay? If you're right-handed or left-handed, it isn't the tape, it's the teardrop. Make sure it's built correctly. All right? So as for the tape going backwards, it's a great way to save a bunch of work cleaning your teardrop. It works really good. I've used it here at the school. The guy that showed me, he said he's used it for years. They've never had any issues. It's just a neat little trick. You can use it if you want to. So anyway, but that's what that's about. Okay. We also made a video of how to tear apart a CCL. We just did a little hand thing showing how to tear it apart, how to check it. Gotten really good feedback on that. Guys seem to really enjoy that. If there's something else y'all would like to see, give a little hands-on experience, how to tear things apart, let us know so we can put something together and at least get it on video for y'all guys to learn from. So, what else we got here? I think that's everything that I wanted to talk to you about. Last week we had Taylor Keel come out. He slipped in a bond log after our pipe recovery class. So hats off to Taylor. He's with Sunshine Energy here in Tyler, Texas. Is that right? And then we had a big pipe recovery class. So we got a couple of interviews with the guys that went through the pipe recovery. And then we got a really good interview with John here at the end. So stick around and see what these guys have to say. All right, let's do this. Okay, guys, I want to welcome y'all taking the time to do a little interview for us. I know y'all just came out of the pipe recovery class with John Baez. Real quick for introduction, tell me who y'all are.
I'm Todd Caulfield.
Okay.
Andy Moje. Colt Goldie.
And y'all with
Ranger Wire.
Ranger. So we appreciate Ranger taking the time for y'all to come out of here. How long y'all been in wireline?
This is my 12th year.
12 years. Good deal.
5 years wireline, 16 oil field.
16?
19 years wireline.
Yeah, I thought 15 was a lot. Man, good job, man. I know y'all, like you said, you've done other parts of oil field. Has wireline treated y'all good? I mean, you think that's a good industry to be in? Do you recommend people to come to wireline?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to travel a lot, you get to see a lot of different things, and you get to experience a lot of stuff with wells and different sides of that even other career fields won't get to see. So.
I got you. Oh, I tell you what, I mean, I grew up farming, and I wish I would have got in this years before we were, it was a great life, but no money. But anyway, but it was pretty lucrative. At least wireline was pretty lucrative for me. Do y'all agree?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I didn't know anything about the oil field when I moved up to start. And
Yeah.
here I am, all these years later.
I've done quite a few different jobs in the industry, and wireline it's becoming my favorite
Really?
position so far.
I know a lot of people ask me, well, what division do I get in? Well, I'm just a wireline guy, so I just say wireline. But for guys that have done other stuff, they're like, no. They
It makes
kinda,
you appreciate it more.
Yeah. Well, to the class that you just went to, guys, what's y'all's take on it? Y'all get anything out of it? Or?
Yeah, I learned a lot. I was taught how to free point and do pipe recovery by the seat of your pants, and now I know the math behind the things,
Yeah.
and it helped out a lot.
Well, you've had some pipe recovery experience then.
Yep.
Was there? I guess there was aspects about it that you didn't realize or
Yep.
didn't know, and now
Now you know.
do, and now things make more sense.
Yeah.
I got you. Todd, you feel the same way, or what you?
Oh
think?
yeah, no, I learned a lot coming from the other side of wireline, what I've done in my career. Just coming out here and being able to have, I mean, you can go and you can sit in a logger and someone can show you something and you can learn it that way, but to sit down in like a class setting, have someone explain to you why you're seeing what you're seeing. I mean, you got the logger itself is going to tell you a lot, right? But having somebody explain to you why you're seeing it that way, and then how you should be able to predict and expect as you go from job to job to job is a really useful tool, I would say.
Well, I think the tool, showing how the tools actually work and function correctly, I think that's probably a big part of it
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Andy, you agree? Or
I came in here with very little pipe experience from the wireline side anyway. So it is definitely a lot to take in a pretty short amount of time, and I'll be utilizing quite a bit of it, but I would definitely recommend coming back for a second go around just as a refresh once.
Well, yeah,
And once
get
I have a
going
better
even better.
understanding of how all this applies.
Yeah. Well, I think what you'll realize as you do jobs in the field, it comes second nature. I remember doing the first bond log, and you're like, oh my gosh, trying to remember all this. And then after you do like 20 of them, you're like, it's nothing. And then
It's
pipe
muscle
recovery
memory.
probably be the same thing.
Yep.
But anyway. Well, guys, I don't want to take too much of y'all's time, but thank y'all for coming out. Like I said, thanks for Ranger for, taking a chance with us and teaching y'all something. So,
We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks
definitely
for
enjoyed
hosting.
the class.
all right. We'll talk to y'all later. Okay, you're watching All Shots Fired. I got the pipe whisperer, John Baez, with us. Well, another class down, man.
Another one in the books.
Well, it was a double class. We are
This
doing back
was
to back.
this was by far the most grueling out of all of them. You have to imagine that you've got different personalities, but when you work in a wireline shop, you know as well as I do, everyone has their own personality. And the group that we've had from Canada, and we've had domestic. And I'm pretty impressed that Rangers spent the money and sent their guys out here.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we got to hit a really good group of kids. And of course, I call Jimmy a kid.
Yeah.
He's my age,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's been doing it a long time. He just didn't ever have any experience in pipe recovery. I'm really excited that they're doing it. I think that when a company does step up and do something like this, to me, it's impressive because they're wanting to get better.
Mm-hmm.
They want to provide a better service for their customers and want to make sure that they can succeed. So man, I was pretty stoked.
Yeah, hats off to them when they made a phone call and said, "Hey, we got 5 guys." It was, I believe.
Yeah,
They want
5.
to come out, and I went, "Wow, that's impressive."
Very impressive.
For them to do that.
No, the same thing that Vinco's doing. I mean,
Yeah,
Vinco
yeah,
in
Vinco,
Mexico.
yeah.
I mean, those guys. I mean, they are some sharp kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they send them and they send them. I mean, I was pretty impressed with the way they did their operation as well. But again, remember last time that we had this conversation, I learned something new. They had a digital, or what they call digital free point, or warrior based. I was able to actually perfect it for them. So I've got the math figured out on that. And now they're having success running these same services that they had. These guys, when they come in, the one thing that I learned about that it was freaking cold where they come from. So.
Right. Well, back to the Vinco guys and the Warrior setup. They pushed you to do it because they had to do it. And they're like, "John, how can I make this work?"
Yeah.
And you would have never.
No.
That's a Warrior. And here you did it, and you're like, "Wow, this worked pretty good."
Yeah, it worked pretty good. Yeah. I actually loaned it to a buddy of mine in Oklahoma. So my buddy Robert Mickle with Trojan, he had his manager. Obviously, he's like, "I'm not messing with that. There's no way." But I had his manager talk to him over the phone, emailed it to him, and he was able to get it functioning. Wow. The problem was when they got on bottom, the motorized tool doesn't like a whole lot of magnetic interference, and they just been milling pipe for I don't know how many days, so it was like null and void. But when he got it out, he was able to show the customer that the tool's working fine. It's not the system, it's not the tool, it's the fact that the casing was so magnetized at that point. But I think that it's a good backup for us, and especially one of the guys, I think Todd was really, really wanting a copy of it, because if you have a panel go down, I mean, this is the way to go.
You got it.
I'm working on a video.
Okay.
I'm working on it. Well, I've got the training video for the spring tool side of it. I've really dumbed it down to the point for someone like me that has no warrior experience that you can make it work. Okay. Once I get the Titan videoed out and laid out, then hopefully I can start handing it off to these kids.
That'd be great for them.
Yeah, and if you're looking to do this, or your company requires you to do this, come on down. I've got all the math figured out on it, and once you see it, you're going to be impressed, I hope.
Well, other people are, because if you tell them and say, "Okay, pull this much," and the meter reads exactly what you said it should read, you're like, "How'd you know that?" And that's the math.
And I get that all the time, even when I'm in the field. Most of the time, the guys that are sitting behind me, they understand when I say something, it's going to be right. Now, whenever I'm doing this over the phone, like I've done for other friends, they're the same question. How did you do that? Well, it's all based off the mathematics. I cracked the code. I didn't invent the math. That's what I keep telling everybody I'm training. I didn't invent this math. I just cracked the code. This is the stuff that those guys that created it weren't telling everyone else.
It was their secret.
I just was able to plug in the right integers, and now I've got the right equation. So it works. I like it.
What do you think the biggest problem in the pipe recovery industry right now is? Just lack of knowledge.
It's still,
people are doing stuff that aren't trained to do.
Yes, because they were trained by somebody that was in a hurry to train them, that didn't want them to know what they knew, so that they wouldn't take their position. Yeah. So you end up with someone that had a quarter of the information that they had from 3 generations ago. Mm-hmm. I was lucky enough to work for the best, is Michael Elkins, and he wasn't the greatest teacher in the world because he was a screamer and a holler, but he got his point across, and everything he did, literally, there was a reason for it. And once I was able to see that, then it became, okay, now I'm following the math. I'm following this tradition that he's had, and I've got the same success.
Well, you bragged how good he was.
He was the absolute best. And the sad part is that even today, as I look out and I'm seeing, my competitors and everyone that works in the industry, there's no one like him. There's no one like him left. And that guy's probably forgot more than I'll ever know. Yeah. He said that I've exceeded him. I've gone past him. And I don't feel that. Yeah. I feel that if he was in my position, he'd be just as successful, if not more, than I am, because of the fact that he was able to do what he did during his day.
But during his day, though, they didn't even turn horizontal.
No.
They didn't even.
But that's my point. It wasn't the fact that he showed me, well, when you do this, you do this. He taught me how to think, how to dissect a situation and actually troubleshoot what's going on. I can't tell you how many times I heard him say that. Well, something would be messed up. Well, let me troubleshoot this thing. And then he would dissect it and work his way back too. And then it's like, well, there's fixed. That's what the problem is. And I'm going, do you know how to work on these? No, I don't. But this is how you troubleshoot. That's what I took from him. How to think. I've got 4 days with these kids, and I've told them all, I've got 4 days with you. I cannot show you all of that. I'm trying to compress everything that I can to get you to the point where you can go do a job. So I've taken all the guesswork out with the math, and I've given you the keys. All you have to do is go out and do it. And like we were talking about last time, these guys go out and they do a drill pipe job. They've never even seen a 3-point tool. They bought it. They never ran it. They never powered it up. They brought it to me. We showed them how to set it up, and they go and they're successful. Yeah. How do they do that? Math.
Yeah.
The math is everything.
And Craig and Matt are pretty smart guys.
Yeah, they are.
Production loggers, so they picked it up,
quick.
Easy.
And the kids from Canada this time, they were around. When we were setting up the spring tool, they're used to running some kind of a gamma ray. So whenever they're spotting up, they see a spike, they stop. Well, essentially, when you're setting up the spring tool, that's what you're looking for. And they were like instantaneous, like they were right in their element. I was just blown away how quickly, they grasped onto it. And then I heard something about a Cyclops tool. You remember that?
I think you showed a picture of it.
Someone got Cyclops, they're losing eyeball or something like that when they're running this tool. That was hilarious.
Yeah. I didn't get to see the picture there. It sounded like it was pretty funny. That's the reason they call it the Cyclops.
So if you guys know what the Cyclops tool is, comment on it. Tell me how many guys lost an eyeball.
Pretty funny.
Got to hear it.
Well, yeah, if you can get the Cyclops picture, I would like to see it. And
I'm interested.
Competent.
I'm interested. I want to know how many victims are out there. That's what I want to know. Yeah. How many victims are out there?
Because apparently there is. There's quite a few.
That's crazy. Well, and again, like I said, I was on a job before. I'm telling these kids this story. I'm on a job before. We're with XTO, and this fishing tool hand makes a suggestion because the top drive's broken in. Okay. Can't put any torque. And before, when I first broke out, none of the rigs that we had, the rotary rigs, had reverse. So we had to take a tong bite, pull the bite, lock the rotary table, because this is sitting on the slips, make another bite, pull it in. We did that for years. This fisherman says, can't we just use the tongs and just put the torque in? And I'm looking at him and I go, we're wearing rubber gloves, dude. You really think that they're going to allow us to do something like that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see if they're still running the Cyclops tool. I mean, do you have to have a face shield to put this thing on? I mean, you literally have to have a hazmat suit for a chemical cutter now. I mean, I'm interested. Someone let us know. I need to know.
Yeah, it'd be good education.
Oh, man. Or if not, just a laugh.
Well, man, I guess we're going to wrap it up. You got anything you want to finish this up?
No, I'm excited for Ranger. Hoping that they'll have success. They sent us an experienced guys. I say guys. I've got 2 guys that were really experienced. I think Colt had the most experience out of all of them, and he seemed very excited to apply the math to what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, and nothing against Colt. He's been doing this a long time. His situation was just like everyone else. He was trained by someone that was in a hurry, and this is just what you do. Now he knows the why.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that he'll stay in touch so that I can see what kind of success he's getting.
Well, it's really neat to watch these guys succeed.
I love it.
And you're like, wow, these guys are exceeding themselves, and people are recognizing them for what they're learning and what they're doing.
Well, like Mexico, they shut down their pipe recovery operation because they didn't have any success. And then they go out the first job, we've got success. I mean, that's what I like to see.
Yeah.
I mean, and it makes me feel better because then at least maybe I'm not really.
No. We told the story, about John Eaglefeather and that deal.
Stephen Eaglefeather. And he's a good guy.
And how.
And then Todd knew him.
Oh, yeah.
At one point in time.
Small world.
It's a small world.
Yeah. Well, it's a good deal. Let's keep training them. Let's keep people going.
Yeah, send them to us.
Yeah.
Send me your best. Send me your brightest. Don't send me someone that can't run a calculator.
Yeah, that goes with engineers too.
Yeah.
Don't send them.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, that's going to wrap it up. We'll talk to y'all later.
Appreciate it.
All right, everyone, we're going to wrap up this show. I want to say a special thanks to Sure Shot Wireline out of Alberta, Canada. Scott and Brenda Ross, thank y'all for sending your guys out to us. We appreciate it. And Casey Nipper with Ranger Energy Service. Thank you for calling us and lining everything up. That was a big class, so we appreciate it. Like, share us. We appreciate any type of way to sponsor our show. So, big hats off to you if you subscribe. We're growing. Our numbers are small, but I understand we are a small little niche market and that we're very specific. So anyway, but if people like what we're seeing, just let other people know we're here. Hey guys, there's one thing I said I didn't want to ever do making this podcast, and that was waste your time. So everyone that's listening that has joined us on our channel or listening on Facebook, I'm going to ask y'all to leave feedback for us on our content, whether it's positive or negative. I need to know your experience and your opinion of certain products we may be talking about. Now, we can all learn and become better in our industry by you, the ones that have experienced these products. So all I ask is that you be respectful for others' opinions if you make a comment. We can all get along and make this work for all of us. I'm really looking forward to what we all have to say and y'all's opinions. We'll talk to y'all later. All right, I'm going to leave the show with John and some music. He's got some video of the Pipe Whisperer doing some jobs you might enjoy. So we'll see y'all next time.
All Shots Fired is a production of Russell Smith and Top Gun Oilfield Training Center. All comments about the video should be addressed to Russell Smith at the following email address: rdsmith@topgunoilfield.com. To schedule your next advanced training session at the Top Gun Oilfield Training Center in San Antonio, Texas, please give us a call at 1-979-320-7685. Recorded, live, on site at the Top Gun Oilfield Training Campus. Participants and guests of the show have given their permission to have their personalities and likeness displayed online on our channel. Any similarities in likeness are purely coincidental. Director and executive producer, Russell Smith. Producer, Michael, Doc, Schloer. Principal photography and video, Russell Smith. Host and scripting, Russell Smith. Video production and editing services, MDS Multimedia. If you are in the wireline industry and would like to sponsor a show or be a guest on our show, please reach out to Russell Smith at the Top Gun Oilfield Training Center. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook and LinkedIn. Copyright 2024. All rights reserved.